So this time, no, we are going to discuss about the supply chain management. No, supply chain management is the management of the flow of goods and services and include all processes that transform our raw materials into final product. So it involves the active streamlining of a business supply side activities to maximize customer value and gain a competitive advantage in the market. The supply chain management represent an effort by suppliers to develop and implement supply chains that are as efficient and economical as possible. Supply chains cover everything from production to product development of the information systems needed to direct this undertaking. Okay, so to discuss with us the detailed about supply chain management, let us all welcome Madam Rica. Go ahead, Madam.
Good morning po, Doc. Good morning, classmates. Our topic is about supply chain management. I am with Ms. Mama Jean Rifalda. So the best companies around the world are discovering a powerful new source of competitive advantage. It is called supply chain management. So first, let us define supply chain management. It is a sequence of decision-making and execution processes and material information and money flows that aim to meet final customer requirements and takes place between different supply chain stages. Supply chain not only includes the manufacturer and its suppliers, but also transporters, warehouses, retailers, and consumers. It also includes new product development, marketing, operations, distribution, finance, and customer. So as you can see is the diagram of supply chain shaded within the total supply chain network. So we have the supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, and consumer. It shows defects a generic supply chains within the context of the total supply chain network. So each firms belong to at least one supply chain, but it usually has a multiple suppliers and customers. So this is an example of food supply chain. First, supplier grows and harvests a crop of wheat. Second, a processor turns the wheat into flour. The flour goes to food manufacturer where it is combined with foodstuffs from other processors to make cereals, breads, pastas, and other food products. The food products are sent to a distributor who manages the logistics and transportations of the products to various retailers. Retailers then sell the food products to end consumers. Bullwhip effect. So the bullwhip effect, also known as the wish plus or the whipsaw effect in supply chain management. It refers to the phenomenon of increasing fluctuation in inventory in response to shifts in customer demands as one moves further up the supply chain. So in other words, inventory swings in bigger and bigger waves in response to customer demand, which acts as the handle of the whip. The largest wave of the whip hits the supplier of raw materials, causing them to see the biggest demand variation in response to changing customer demand. So an example of bullwhip effect. A retailer typically keeps 106 packs of one soda brand in stock. If it normally sells 26 packs a day, it would order that replacement amount from the distributor. But one day, the retailer sells 76 packs and assumes customers will start buying more product and responds by ordering 106 packs to meet the higher forecasted demand. The distributor may then respond by ordering double or 206 packs from the manufacturer to ensure they do not run out. The manufacturer then produces 256 packs to be on the safe side. In the end, the increased demand has been simplified of the supply chain from 106 packs at the customer level to 250 at the manufacturer. Causes of the bullwhip effect and potential solution. Perceived demand, the quality of information, and the inherent delays that may be found within the supply chain. There is no timely information and changes in demand, and one has to deal with a long lead time between placing an order and receiving the products. Misperceptions of feedback, price fluctuations driven by promotions, forecast errors. Several redesign strategies are proposed to reduce demand amplification and improve supply chain performance. Eliminate all time delays and goods information flows from the supply chain. Exchange information concerning true market demands with parties upstream the supply chain. Remove one or more intermediate echelons or levels in the supply chain by business takeover. Improve the decision rules at each stage of the supply chain. Modify the order quantity procedures or their parameter. So what is the supply chain management? It is the process of integrating the supply and demand management not only within the organization, but also across all the various members and channels in the supply chain. So they work together most efficiently and effectively. It is also an inventory management approach with an emphasis on the supply of raw materials. Characteristics of supply chain management. So we have the element, the traditional management, the supply chain management, inventory management approach, independent efforts, joint reduction and channel inventories, total cost approach, minimize firm cost, channel-wide cost efficiencies, time horizon, short-term, long-term, amount of information sharing and monitoring, limited to needs of current transactions as required for planning and monitoring purposes, amount of coordination of multiple levels in the channel, single contact for the transaction between channel pairs, multiple contacts between levels and firms and levels of channel, joint planning, transaction-based, ongoing, compatibility of corporate philosophies, not relevant, compatible, at least for key relationships, breadth of supplier base, large to increase competition, spread risk, small to increase coordination. Channel leadership, not needed, needed for coordination focus. Amount of sharing of risk and rewards, each on its own, risk and reward shared over longer term. Speed of operations, information and inventory flows. Warehouse orientation, storage safety stock, interrupted by barriers to flows, localized to channel pairs. And the DC orientation or the turnover speed. There are 5 basic components of supply chain management. First, planning. To meet customer demands, chain managers have to plan ahead. So this means forecasting demand, designing the supply chain intentionally, and determining how the organization will measure the supply chain to ensure it's performing as expected in terms of efficiency, delivering value for customers, and helping to achieve organizational goals. Next is sourcing. Selecting suppliers who will provide the goods, raw materials, or services that create the products is a critical component of the supply chain. Not only does this include cheating the contracts that govern the suppliers, but also managing and monitoring existing relationships. As part of strategic sourcing, supply chain managers must oversee the processes for ordering, receiving, managing inventory, and authorizing invoice payments for suppliers. Next is making. Supply chain managers also need to help coordinate all the steps involved in creating the products itself. This includes reviewing and accepting raw materials, manufacturing the product, quality testing, and packaging. Generally, businesses evaluate the quality, production output, and employee productivity to ensure overall standards are upheld. Next, delivery. Ensuring the products reach the customers is achieved through logistics, and it's fundamental to supply chain success. This includes coordinating the orders, scheduling delivery, dispatching, invoicing, and receiving payments. And the last is returning. Supply chain managers also need to develop a network that supports returning products. In some cases, this may include scrapping or reproducing the defective product in orders. It may mean returning a product to the warehouse. This network needs to be responsible and flexible to support customer needs. So as you can see, this is the key decision in supply chain management. We have the supply chain objective, the supply chain performance, supply chain network structure, who are the key supply chain members with whom to link processes, supply chain businesses processes, what processes should be linked with each of these key supply chain members, and supply chain management components, what levels of integration and management should be applied for each process link. It emphasizes the interrelated nature of social chain management and the need to proceed through several steps to design and successfully manage the supply chain. Each step is directly related to the supply chain objectives, the degree to which a supply chain fulfills end user requirements concerning the key performance indicators at any point in time and at what total cost. There are three key decisions. First, who are the key supply chain members with whom to link processes? The first step in analyzing and redesigning a supply chain is to determine the organizations that are part of the supply chain under investigation. Most manufacturers, the supply chain looks less like a pipeline or chain than a fruit tree, where the branches and roots are the extensive network of customers and suppliers. The question is how many of and how intensive these branches and roots need to be managed. Management will need to choose the level of partnership appropriate for each particular supply chain member, knowing the firm capabilities in time and effort are limited. What processes should be linked with each key members? Successful supply chain management requires a change from managing individual business processes with one organization to integrate activities over the organizations into key supply chain processes. What level of integration management should be applied to each processes linkages? Supply chain management suggests numerous possible components that must receive managerial attention in managing supply relationships. First, the physical and technical group, which includes the most visible, tangible, measurable, and easy to change components. The second group, the managerial and behavioral components, defines the organizational behavior and influences how the physical and technical management components can be implemented. So if the managerial and behavioral components are not aligned to drive and reinforce an organization behavior supportive to the supply chain objectives and operations, then the supply chain will likely be less competitive and profitable. Supply chain design in relationship with the nature of product and demand. So functional products with longer life cycle, stable demand, low product variety, longer lead times, and lower margins for organization. Yun naman pong innovative products, short product life cycle, higher margins, greater product variety, and shorter lead time to order. Functional are more predictable, and then yung innovative, less predictable. The organizations offering innovative products tend to follow responsive supply chain strategies. Mismatch for products and supply chain strategies therefore can be deduced that match between product nature and supply chain strategy will result in superior financial performance. So organization with match among the nature of product and supply chain strategy will lead to superior profitability as to compare to organizations with mismatch. The trade-off between efficiency and responsiveness. So Fisher divides product into two categories. First, primarily functional products, satisfying basic needs, which have stable, predictable demand and long life cycles, typically with high levels of competition, resulting in the low profit margins. Primarily innovative products with higher profit margins have unpredictable demand and short life cycles and usually higher levels of product variety. The physical efficient versus market responsive supply chain. So we have the fiscal efficient or the lean process and market responsive or agile process. Primary purpose, supply predictable demand efficiently at the lowest possible cost. Respond quickly to unpredictable demand in order to minimize stock outs, forced markdowns, and obsolete inventory. Manufacturing focus, maintain high utilization rate, generate high returns, and minimize inventory through the chain. Deploy excess buffer capacity, deploy buffer stocks of parts of finished goods. Lead time focus, shorten lead time as long as it does not increase cost. Invest aggressively in ways to reduce time. Approach to choosing suppliers, select primarily for cost and quality, select primarily for speed. Product design strategy, maximize performance and minimize cost. Flexibility, use modular design in order to postpone product differentiation as long as possible. 5 positions of the decoupling point. So as you can see, first, what is decoupling point? It refers to the inventory point, the most upstream, the supply chain, which real demands penetrates upstreams and supply chain. So nandito po yung suppliers, the productions, the local warehouse, planning-driven activities focused on efficiency, customer order-driven activities focused on responsiveness. First, deliver from the local stock. Second, make to stock. Third, assemble, pack, and deliver an order. Fourth, produce, pack, and deliver an order. And last, purchase, product, pack, and deliver an order. So downstream of the decoupling point, the material flow is controlled by the customer orders demand, and the focus is on customer lead time and flexibility. Upstream towards suppliers, the material flow is controlled by forecasting and planning, and the focus in on efficiency. Benefits of supply chain: better collaboration, improved quality control, higher efficiency rate, keeping up with demand, shipping optimization, reduced overhead costs, improved risk mitigation, improved cash flow. Practices in supply chain management. First, collaborative demand planning and replenishment. Retailers and manufacturers work together to assess consumer demand and to determine the most appropriate supply management and replenishment approach to meet customer demand. Next, collaborative production. Manufacturers and suppliers work together to harmonize the supply of raw materials and the production of end products in such a way as to minimize the stocks within the supply chain and maximize the responsiveness. Collaborative logistics planning, coordinating transport and warehousing between the various parties involved, including the transshippers, logistics service providers, couriers, and recipients. And the last, this is the areas for collaboration in the supply chain: the connectivity and transparency, collaborative production, collaborative demand planning, and replenishment. And thank you. That will be all, sir. Hello po.
Okay, so thank you very much, Madam. So again, the supply chain management, no, is the centralized management of the flow of goods and services in all processes that transform raw materials into products. So by managing the supply chain, companies are able to cut excess cost and deliver products to the consumer faster. The good supply chain management keeps companies out of the headlines and away from expensive recalls and lawsuits. No? Actually, an example of supply chain management, no, in its business, like I don't know if you're familiar with Walgreens Boots Alliance Incorporated, they place focused effort to transforming its supply chains in 2016. So the company operates one of the largest pharmacy chain in the United States and need to efficiently manage and revise its supply chains so it stays ahead of the changing trends and continues to add values to its bottom line. Okay? So